Leadership isn't just about confidence, it's about overcoming burnout, responsibility, and unseen challenges. Ascendancy Awakened delivers a powerful framework to help you take command of your.
Welcome to Spark Faith with me, Dr. Chris Sargent. This show is about renewed health, rooted in truth, and restored by grace. What does finding health look like for you? Do you have a vision for your future self and a way to get there? I'm Dr. Chris, and after 33 years in functional medicine and a lifelong journey through brain health, weight loss, hormones, mindset, and faith, I know that real transformation doesn't come from willpower or white knuckling your way to wellness. It comes from gratitude, honoring your body as the temple that God created. This show is about body stewardship, not shame. It's about rewiring your mindset, your metabolism, and your spirit to find lasting health without the grind. I'll help you cut through the noise, see opportunities instead of obstacles, and finally live the healthy, purposeful life you were created for. Let's spark faith and transformation together. Spark Faith starts now. Hey, y'all. Happy day for the Spark Faith Show. This is Dr. Chris Sargent. And this one's going to be a little bit different. We are going to talk about from overwhelmed to aligned and what your body has been trying to tell you. And here's the thing. You don't need more effort. All right. You just need more alignment. And so this episode, we're going to pull some stuff from the last 4 episodes of foundation, regulation, energy, and strength to kind of put a more clear path forward and some usable tips and maybe some high level things that you haven't thought about. All right. And so today, like I said, it's going to feel a little bit different. First of all, if I'm completely transparent, I have a mild to moderate cold. I moved my home recently, kind of unexpectedly. And although I have stayed on my recovery program and my workouts and my food and my macros and all the things through the move, I still just did way too much, right? And now my body is asking for some extra rest. Or the way I see it is when God wants me to rest, He will make sure that that's what I do. So that's what's going on today. So we spent the last few weeks walking through foundation, regulation, energy, and strength. And today is the H piece of the Living Fresh Collective. H is for health. And so we pull all these things in together to create health for our move forward in whatever that health journey is that you're taking currently. And the Living Fresh Collective, I promise, is coming. I've got 3 or 4 more quick things to do, and I am so excited about opening it up. But again, this move was kind of unexpected, and life happens. And I also think that sometimes timing definitely is not my timing, right? This is all about God's timing and leaving it in His hands. And so that's kind of where I've just had to be like, okay, this move just has to happen, and Living Fresh is going to open and happen when y'all are ready and when I'm ready. And I hope you're chomping at the bit to get in, because I think what I have to offer is really different. And so, if you're like most women that I talk to, you might be thinking like, yeah, Dr. Chris, I know all this stuff. I know it all in my head, right? And I still feel stuck. Okay, so we need to move some of this information from our head to our heart and like really take it in. Okay. And this is going to feel uncomfortable, especially for those of y'all who really like to just move forward and keep doing things just to stay distracted from the truth. Oh, I know. I am going to definitely touch your eyeball with a piece of cotton today. So I'm going to challenge your beliefs just a little bit here. And I'm going to ask a couple questions, so expect to be a little uncomfortable. Do you know that the causes of your stuckness are really about your dysregulated nervous system and hormonal system? Yeah. Do you fully understand what has created this dysregulation? Let that sink in. This is really about getting to the root of the issues, right? This is what functional medicine is all about. This is not about, here's a new plan, see if this works, hope this works well for you, or here's a pile of supplements to cover up all of the symptoms that you have. This is not a band-aid, right? For me, functional medicine has always been like, okay, but what's underneath why your body isn't responding to what you're doing, right? Yes, a new eating plan may need to happen, um, but I'm not sure that a stricter plan necessarily, or eating less, or a harder workout is exactly what your body needs right now, because this is about why your body isn't responding to what you're currently doing, right? So today may not be new information. Hopefully, we're going to put it together in a different picture, though. Like you have this puzzle that you thought was going to look one way, but it's going to look different. So let's pull this together so that you can actually use this thing, right? So the real problem here, let me say this as clearly as I possibly can. You are not failing, right? Most of y'all, however, here's where it gets a little uncomfortable, are working with a mismatch between your plan and your physiology, right? This whole eating less, exercising more, trying harder, white knuckling, feeling shame, feeling guilt, right? And your body isn't responding, right? The way it used to respond or the way that you expected it to respond. And so, I'm going to ask one of those really obvious questions. My kids hate this, but I'm going to go ahead and ask um, because, okay, mom, you're Captain Obvious. But do you know the definition of insanity? Right. And before I answer this, because you probably already know the answer, right? However, I want you to be ready for some discomfort at the end of the answer. So, the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and expecting different results. So, if your body hasn't been responding to what you've always done, right? Maybe it's time for a shift. Maybe it's time to try something different. Ugh. And just to put a little extra exclamation point on that, maybe it's time to make that shift or try something different for longer than a week, because that's not even close to enough time for your body to heal. I know this is way out of your comfort zone. You want stuff to happen right now. I get it. I know we all want that magical thing that a lot of social media promises us. And those things are just not really true. You see the transformation photos. What you don't know is this messy middle of the time that it has taken to get there. And for some of us, it definitely can take longer than we want it to, right? I told y'all I started a new plan and I've been working it and my body's responding really well and all those things, but I even want to hurry this thing up. And my coach is like, nope, you can't hurry this thing up because your body still needs to recover. And I'm like, but I feel really good. And I also know what you may know too, and maybe don't really want to admit, is that if I take too much of a drastic change right now, I will crash and burn again. And your body will also stop responding. And then you stop sleeping as well, right? And then you don't have the energy that you need. And then you're just back where you started. So what I don't want that to discourage you, but just know that this is a longer haul, right? I have a client who has like a history of a hugely bad marriage, horrible divorce. She's lost a child, like lots of trauma in her life. And, 3 or 4 months into our program, she's just not sure why she hasn't responded. Well, she's got a lot of things that her body has taken in as trauma that also have to be repaired, right? So I usually work with good therapists, and we work with diet and nutrition and therapy. Like it all has to come together, right? That's why the Living Fresh Collective incorporates some good mental health strategies and some good spiritual strategies along with our health strategies, right? So, from the regulation piece a few weeks ago, your body isn't responding to your intention, right? My intention is X, Y, and Z. It's going to respond to your pattern, right? What pattern do you actually have moving forward in your life? Are you really eating less? Or are you trying to, like, you're like, oh, I'm eating low carb, low carb, low carb, but then you pig out at night. Like, let's just be real, right? Like, we get munchy and then we start eating in secret, or we're doing something shameful. And then that's just going to undo any potential that you might have for getting your body back on track. So, from the energy piece, right? Multitasking isn't efficient. We talked about brain energy a few episodes ago. And so we know that multitasking isn't efficient. It's metabolically expensive. So we need to dial in what we're doing so that it becomes part of our routine and we're not multitasking all the time. From our strength piece just a couple weeks ago, when you lose weight without muscle, you're not going to be fixing your metabolism. You're going to be slowing it down. And then, things don't grow where we observe, they grow where we cultivate. We have to create a soil that's really ready for things to change. These are not separate problems, they're all pointing to the same issue. Your body is trying to protect you inside the patterns that aren't really supporting it. So let's walk through this really quick, because you've been trying to fix this. Maybe it's a weight problem, maybe it's an energy problem, maybe it's just, I don't know, name your issue, right? But here's the thing, you're trying to fix it at a surface level or a symptom level. And we have to get under the symptoms to what actually causes those symptoms, right? Cholesterol is just a symptom. Being overweight a lot of the times is just a symptom of too much cortisol and not the proper types of nutrition. Hormonal dysregulation, feeling a lot of anxiety can just be a symptom of not eating well, or your blood sugar is unstable. There's a lot of other reasons, yes, but let's work with some tangible ones here. So blood sugar instability is one of the keys to cravings and energy crashes. When your blood sugar is all over the place, your energy is going to be all over the place, right? We talked about how much energy our brain needs all the time on a consistent level, not all over the place, because this all over the place thing just puts us into fight and flight. Along with like not eating enough and too much working out, your body ends up in this fight or flight state. So it affects your nervous system, right? It affects your physiology to be in that space, right? And this is a mental piece too. And we can't separate the mental impact of restriction from the physiological impact of restriction. So what this leads to is all this cortisol dysregulation, which causes fat storage and fatigue. Your brain is overloaded, so you've got like this foggy brain, can't pull together, can't really focus on one thing. You have this constant energy drain, and you're going to lose muscle mass, right? Which just causes this downward spiral to lower energy and slower metabolism, right? So your metabolism is really going to start listening to your patterns, not your promises, right? So we need to fix the patterns so that our metabolism can also fix itself. So let's say, so when you feel stuck, that's not failure, right? It's your body just adapting to what you're doing. And we kind of know what that stuckness looks like, right? It's under eating during the week, it's overeating on the weekends, it's inconsistent wake and sleep times, it's inconsistent workout routines. It's then just like going at it all out, pushing harder, and then you just burn out or you get so sore that you don't want to go back. And I really want to say this carefully. That's not a lack of discipline, right? It becomes this pattern that your body can't really build momentum in. It needs structure and routine. And I can hear all of y'all out there like, I'm not a structure person, but your body is. And so we can learn to have some structure in our life around our lifestyle. That's what we're going to do inside Living Collective, right? Is help you see that putting some structure into your life doesn't have to be difficult, right? It's like you wouldn't go out of the house without brushing your teeth and combing your hair, right? Like those are just things that we do, or throwing a ball cap on, right? Those are just things we do. So putting your food into that kind of priority and putting your workouts or walks or whatever those may be into that place of priority, that these things happen before I get out of the house for my day. If that means you wake up earlier, or maybe you go to the gym in the afternoon, you don't come home first, because you know if you come home, right, you're not going to go out and go back to the gym. So bring your stuff with you. And it's just creating those routines that allow you to easily do what your body needs to have done. It's food prep, right? Like 2 days ago, I made 3 steaks and a bunch of chicken thighs, right? So now I have protein already made. And let me tell y'all, I did this in a half an hour. I threw steaks on my grill plate on my cooktop. I put a bunch of the chicken thighs in a pan. I made baked potatoes all at the same time in the microwave. Like I had protein and carbs ready to go. And all I have to do now is go throw some veggies in. And I've got protein, I've got carbs, and I've got veggies ready to go. Literally a half an hour. It does not take long, right? And I think I took maybe 20 minutes the day before to marinate all those things so that they would be ready for the next day so that I could cook them and they taste good, right? So I know that you've been trying. I know that you've been disciplined. You've been doing what you thought was right, but your body has changed. And, back to this insanity piece, it does need something different now. So here's what actually works. This is not a new plan today. It's really about a different way to think about our plans, right? We're going to go with rhythm over intensity. Okay. Your body needs this predictability. It needs time, and it needs a rhythm that you can create. Take 20 or 30 minutes on a Sunday afternoon, or just find some quiet time, maybe an hour, to figure out what that rhythm needs to be. When you slow down, you will actually end up more productive, right? This multitasking thing is a complete myth. Go back a couple of episodes. I talk a lot about how the brain works. It doesn't work when you're trying to multitask. And I know that you think that slowing down means you're just going to get further and further behind. However, slowing down actually is going to put you ahead. So I know that seems backwards. You're just going to have to trust this piece. It's not backwards. Take time to figure out where you can have that half an hour to an hour to do your food prep for your week. It doesn't mean it all has to be in cute little bowls and make all these beautiful things like on Instagram. I put all my protein in glass dishes and it's there. I put my potatoes in a baggie. They're done. They're ready to go. I put my rice or pasta in a glass dish. It's good. It's cooked. It's ready to go. And then all I have to do is cook some fresh veggies. So it takes 10 minutes, right? Whether you want to roast them or steam steam them or whatever. It doesn't take, maybe you eat them raw because you don't even want to cook them. Fine. It's totally fine. And for those of y'all who don't like to cook, you can buy all that stuff pre-made now, right? And like, well, that's a lot of process. Well, what's better, a pre-cooked chicken breast or like ordering DoorDash because you haven't planned? So I'm thinking the pre-cooked chicken breast might be a better idea. Just saying. Just saying. So let's prioritize fuel over restriction, right? Under eating is not going to help your metabolism. That does not mean that you go out and eat everything that you want to eat. It means that you take some time and understand what you're eating, which means you're going to have to use your phone and track it somehow. I know nobody likes to track, but I'm telling you, you can track a meal in just a couple minutes with, I use MyFitnessPal. I don't get paid by them. But that's what works, right? I can track a meal very, very quickly. There's almost every food that you can imagine eating, or you can just take the barcode off of the thing that you are eating. Like it makes it so simple. Let's prioritize strength over shrinking. So muscle is your metabolic protection, right? And we need to make sure that we prioritize strength training. That means you push weights that are heavier than you can lift, right? It's not going and doing this simple 5-pound weights every single week that you've been doing for the last year, because it's not going to get you anywhere, right? If you haven't been doing anything, picking up 5-pound weights is going to feel hard. That's what we want. We want it to feel hard, like that 7 out of 10 on the hard scale all the time. Every time you go to the gym, every time you pick up your weights at home, every class you take, whatever that may look like in your life. And then I want you to think about focus versus overload, right? Because your brain and your body need fewer demands, not more. And you're like, yeah, but I have little kids and I'm taking care of my mom. I know. That just means that you have to take extra care of your body during that time and prioritize that. And your kids can watch you prioritize taking care of yourself. And then they're going to learn how to take care of themselves, not neglect themselves. So consistency over perfection, right? We are really all about progress over perfection, staying consistent, not necessarily perfect. Like let's go for the 90-10, right? It's one meal a week, off the chart, whatever. One meal a week is not the problem. It's the day in and day out inconsistency that creates the problem. So again, steady progress over scattered effort. Right? One day great, next day off, one day on, one day off. Your body doesn't know what to do with all that. So let's slow down and figure out what you can do repeatedly, because what you repeat matters more than what you do occasionally. Oh, I know that probably landed a little hard. Sorry about that. So Genesis 2:15 says we are called to cultivate and keep, right? That matters more than we realize, because this was never really about forcing and fixing and controlling. This is about stewardship, right? Your body is not some project to fix, right? It's a gift to steward. And stewardship takes time. And it looks like paying attention, right? Creating some rhythm, building slowly, and staying consistent. And I know that those are really, really hard things for a lot of us to do, because we're so addicted to the dopamine hits that we get every time we speed up. And in that speed, we're losing our metabolism. So if you've ever felt overwhelmed, and I'm guessing some of you have. I know I have. I know I have over the last couple of weeks. If you feel like nothing is working, you don't need to put in more effort, right? You need to slow down and figure out where to put your effort, right? You need to come into alignment with what your body actually needs, right? Here's the thing. Foundation can give you awareness. Regulation can give you some rhythm. Energy is about capacity, right? Brain energy, about capacity. And strength builds your metabolism. And now health is where you live, right? Yes, just because I have a cold today does not mean that I'm not healthy. It just means that my body got a little overloaded and I'm going to rest for a few days and it's going to go away very quickly. It's not going to escalate into something because I don't take time to rest. I'm going to take that time right now. So you're not starting over, right? You're finally really understanding what your body has been trying to tell you. So, like every week, hit subscribe. I know this one's a little bit different. Hit subscribe. Hope you like it. I would love to see some comments. I want to know more about what you need, what you want, what you think. And just like every week, we are just really want to create some renewed health, rooted in truth and restored by grace. Thanks, y'all. I love you. You've been listening to Spark Faith with me, Dr. Chris Sargent. This show is about renewed health, rooted in truth, and restored by grace. Tune in every Thursday morning at 9:30 a.m. Pacific on the Transformation Talk Radio for more simple, faith-fueled steps to live the vision God placed in your heart. Are you ready to take the next step? Schedule a discovery call or connect with me at drchrissargent.com. That's DRKRIS Sargent.com. While you're there, download my free ebook, Endless Energy, the non-negotiable keys to endless energy, and sign up for an upcoming masterclass. Don't forget to subscribe, like, share the show, and I'd love to connect with you on social media at Dr. Chris Sargent. Let's keep sparking faith and transformation together. Can't wait to see y'all next time.